The ongoing United Nations General Assembly session has reignited the debate over fundamental reforms at the UN, with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey criticizing the Security Council's ineffectiveness. The Council's composition, established in 1945, remains largely unchanged, with only 15 out of 193 member states represented, leading to calls for reform. However, the process faces significant challenges, including opposition from existing permanent members, such as China, and disagreements among aspiring countries like India, Brazil, Nigeria, and South Africa. Despite urgent rhetoric, reforms have been elusive, leading to continued gridlock in the Security Council, hindering its effectiveness in addressing global issues.
The focus on India's economic growth, particularly in the context of the upcoming 2024 general election, has raised significant debates. While the government claimed India as the fastest-growing major economy, critics challenged the methodology. Analyzing GDP growth from 1950 to 2019 to 20, it was found that the Modi government hasn't accelerated the country's economic growth rate significantly. Demonetization in 2016 slowed growth, and a pandemic-induced contraction in 2020 to 21 was exacerbated by a lack of adequate stimulus. Despite recent recovery, India's growth remained below the trend. Government efforts to stimulate growth, particularly in capital spending, were noted as a departure from previous policy approaches.
Madhya Pradesh is gearing up for a closely contested assembly election in November, primarily between the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) and the opposition Congress Party. The BJP, currently in power after defections from Congress in 2020, hopes to counter its 18-year anti-incumbency by fielding prominent leaders and focusing on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's image. In contrast, Congress, recovering from past setbacks, aims to capitalize on defections and leader Kamal Nath's influence. Rahul Gandhi's involvement and the Congress's venture into caste politics are notable, though it must navigate Hindu identity issues without resorting to communal polarization, a strategy often employed by the BJP. The Aam Aadmi Party may also impact the electoral landscape.
The Goods and Services Tax (GST) Council recently addressed long-standing ambiguities, including the tax treatment of corporate and personal guarantees for bank loans. Notable decisions included reducing GST on molasses from 28% to 5%, benefiting sugar mills and farmers. However, the Council deferred taxing extra-neutral alcohol (ENA) for alcoholic beverages, highlighting the ongoing complexity surrounding alcohol taxation. The Council's increased meetings this year are encouraging, but a significant concern is its plan to discuss GST compensation cess and potential replacements. Any new cess must align with broader GST reform efforts, which, despite revenue successes, have yet to be fully realized.
The recent passing of the Women's Reservation Bill in both houses of Parliament, a significant step for gender equality, has been marred by certain conditions. The legislation, designed to ensure more women's representation in legislative bodies, is tied to the conduct of a census and delimitation of constituencies. While a solid foundation for legislation is necessary, these conditions create unnecessary complications. Delimitation, a contentious issue in India, is expected to occur after the 2026 census, potentially further delaying the implementation of the women's quota. The fusion of women's reservation with delimitation represents a legislative folly, hindering the progress of gender equality in the country.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's appointment of Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar as the Guardian Minister of Pune district highlights growing influence within the ruling alliance. The position of Guardian Minister holds immense prestige as they oversee the combined budget of local civic bodies and ensure effective implementation of allocated funds. Ajit Pawar's faction within the alliance, including Ministers Dhananjay Munde and Hassan Mushrif, has triggered intense power struggles among the allies over cabinet berths and guardian ministerships. The role of guardian ministers has become more significant due to delayed local body elections. The position is crucial for expanding the party's presence in specific regions.
In late 2022, the Election Commission of India proposed a remote EVM (REVM) to address issues related to domestic migrant voting and improve the 67.4% voter turnout in the 2019 general election. A survey conducted in September 2023 with 1,017 migrants in Delhi's slums revealed that 47% of respondents tended to trust the proposed REVM system, with 31% expressing distrust. Trust levels increased with higher education levels. Migrants from West Bengal had the highest trust levels at 53%, while Bihar had the lowest trust at 41%. The Election Commission shelved the idea due to lack of support, emphasizing the need for increased civic education.
The Bombay High Court has reserved its verdict on petitions challenging the constitutionality of the Information Technology, Intermediary Guidelines, and Digital Media Ethics Code, Amendment Rules, 2023, IT rules. These rules allow the government's fact-check unit, FCU, to identify and demand the removal of fake or false or misleading online content related to the business of the central government. The petitioners, including political satirist Kunal Kamra and media organizations, argue that the provision enables government-led online censorship. The court has raised concerns about the lack of necessary safeguards and ambiguity in the rules, questioning the need for a FCU and highlighting issues related to freedom of expression and natural justice. The court will pass its ruling on 1st December.
In May, the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, filed a case against members of Grameen Telecom's board, including Nobel laureate Dr. Mohammad Yunus, over alleged misuse of funds. Yunus, known for microfinancing, faced multiple official investigations in Bangladesh. Global leaders, including Nobel laureates, called for dropping cases against him. The US, critical of Bangladesh's human rights issues, supports Yunus, making him a figure of US diplomatic pressure against the Sheikh Hasina government. Yunus' political intent, indicated in 2007, challenges the political landscape dominated by Awami League and BNP, adding an international dimension to his cases.